You know how I start my underneath the mask. I always talk to myself, then say some good shit for about 30 minutes, and then decide to start recording. But in this case, I started in 30 seconds. So, underneath the mask, I'm going to entitle this one, Shitting on the Mechanics. It's funny how in this world we live in, you look at the most important people, or either just as equal as important people, as minute. Less than. Ain't worth shit. You shit on them to the point you create this phrase that goes like, shit rolls downhill, or you got the shitty end of the stick. Mechanics are looked at as less than, because all you're doing is working on my car. You just pulling parts off and putting parts on. Hold on, let me break this shit down to you, because how I'm gonna start it, you should know where I'm finna go. You got your basketball players who gets on buses, drive their cars to places, get on buses, take airplanes, ride trains to destinations around the world. You got your doctor that got to get in his car, drive up to his job, and do whatever it is that he do, or catch the bus, or if they need him in another state, fly a plane or whatnot. So who work on all these things? That's like the fucking carpenter. You got your doctors, your basketball players, your lawyers and shit getting paid more than fucking mechanics. How the hell do your motherfucking how the hell do your lawyers get to the courthouse? How do your judge get to the courthouse? How do they get home once their day is done? And all they do is sit behind a motherfucking desk to determine somebody's life or determine somebody's freedom. Same thing with a doctor. Your profession is this. You do your profession. You read books on your profession. This is what I want you to understand. Mechanic, doctor, lawyer, judge, athlete, teacher, etc. and so forth. But we're going to do the 5. And I'm talking about the doctor here. The doctor. You read books on your profession. That does not make you smarter than the rest of these here. You got a PhD in your profession. That does not make you smarter than the rest of these people here or these careers here. Same thing with each one of these. You are a professional, meaning you studied, you know what you're doing, and you're getting paid for what you do. That's what a professional is. A person that does what he do or she does, and they do it in a quality manner and get paid for it. That's what a professional is. A professional ain't a motherfucker that just went to school for something and now you got a PhD in being a doctor or nurse or therapist, but that's not what you do. Also, that does not make you fucking smarter than everybody else because you got a high level education. You have an education in a certain field, because if you want to talk about education, which is one word, that one word has several different branches. I can do this right here, the whole video, just of the branches of education. So don't sit up here and think because you got 1 degree in something that makes you quote unquote educated. No, you're educated in a certain field. Now back to mechanics. The mechanics are the reason your ass gets to where you are. Go to the school that you go to, as well as the carpenter. Now, I'm not talking about carpenters in this video, per se, but just let's add carpentry and carpenters with mechanics, because that car or that building that the car is being fixed in, the carpenter built it. The car that's being worked on that drives you to your building where you work, that the carpenter built, that the mechanic fixed your car, that the doctor work in the hospital. You have the electrician that falls under carpentry. You have the plumber that falls under carpentry. You see how the branches work? So stop. This goes back to one of my underneath the mask talking about education versus intelligence. Stop thinking that you highly educated because you studied in one field of education. The mechanic is just as important as the motherfucking doctor or the lawyer. But the doctor and the lawyer make what? 6 times more than the mechanic? And they do 10 times less physical labor? My numbers are my numbers. These are not specific statistical numbers, but these are just mine. Because I know my dad a mechanic. And I have an auntie in my family that's a doctor. She don't do nowhere near half his work, and not because she's a woman either, or white. But she don't do nearly as half the work, physical labor, as my dad does. But she get paid at least 4 to 5 times more than he does. Probably more than that, because it's just a hobby to him. Even the people that have a job. Now, mechanics pay a shitload of money. Why? Because they are the one laying on their back, getting grease and chemicals and shit like that in their skins and in their pores. What did you, as a doctor, you go to a motherfucking church, a cold ass building? Why? It's cold to keep the chemical, to keep the germs down. You got plastic gloves and masks and chemicals to wash your hand and prep with. Yes, the mechanic has the same thing, but it's not as durable, so to speak, as the doctors. Your field is, quote unquote, because you're dealing with human lives, it's up there like as important. So why wouldn't the mechanic be up here as well? Because you got the ambulance that comes to the people's house to pick them up and drive back to the hospital. In order for them to get to that building that the carpenter built, they have to drive that automobile that the mechanic worked on. Same with your police. The police are underpaid like hell. The police are paid more than the mechanics, less than the lawyers and judges and doctors. And the police are actually putting their lives on the line. A doctor, you're putting your health on the line. You might get sick, you might catch AIDS, you might do this, that, and the other, but you will live out that life in a manner that you don't want. With a police officer, you can get shot in the head and die that day. Or you can get shot in the back and be paralyzed for the rest of your life. But yet they are underpaid. Same with the mechanics. And in order for the police to patrol the streets, what they have to be in? They have to be in their patrol car, motorcycle, helicopter. And in order for these things to work, you don't just keep on buying them brand new. And even if you do keep on buying them brand new, somebody at this building that the carpenter built has to build these airplanes and work on their engine, which is what the mechanic does. So we live in this fucking world that show favoritism, but get mad when favoritism is shown. I.e., when I talk about black bitches. You don't like it. When I talk about shit like this, you might agree with it, but you're not finna change nothing about it. The most important person in the world can hear this speech right here, this underneath the mask, this rant that I'm giving right now, and won't do shit about it. Mechanics are spat on, underappreciated, shitted on, and nobody cares. When yet the mechanic, if you think about it, is one in the top 5 most important people that you need in this world. We live in a world of transportation, so we need our buses, planes, trains, automobiles. We need our homes, buildings, facilities, farmland, etc. So we need our carpenters. And I put farmers in there to cut it down. We need we deal with people. Now watch, dumbass motherfuckers will make fun of that. We apart and ignore everything else. We need our medicine, our splints and heart monitors and whatever you use in the medical field. We need that. We need our patrolling our land, incriminating citizens everywhere. That's my acronym for police. We need our police. I don't think necessarily we need our judges and lawyers. I don't really believe that. You know, I don't. Maybe we need a prison or jail to keep people that do a certain crime there for a certain amount of time to rehabilitate. But I don't think we need our lawyers and judges. I don't. Because you're telling me this white man that got money does the exact same crime as this non-white man, and the white man get probation. He sit at home on house arrest for 2 years, and the black man get life in jail. Or not black man, but the non-white person get life in jail, or a hell of a lot lengthier time than the Caucasian. Seen it, heard it all the time. Now, the mechanic should be up here, if not up here, with everybody else who you consider important, like your quote unquote, oh, my daddy, we rich, we got money, we well off because my mama is a doctor and my dad is a lawyer. My mother is a judge and we own our own business. We own our own law firm. In order to be successful in America, you have to say your mother is a doctor and your father is a lawyer, or vice versa. Anything else, you just barely making it. Because look at how they portray the mechanics. You look at movies and shit, the mechanic always some big fat motherfucker that ain't got shit going for himself, spend all his time in the shop to the point where they call him a grease monkey. This old white dude with his damn ass crack hanging out, living in a trailer park, working on cars behind his damn job. Think about all these dealerships that you pass by when you riding to work. You pass by the Lexus, Toyota, all these motherfucking dealerships where you buy your BMWs and expensive ass Bugattis and Aston Martins and shit. The mechanic got to work on those. So when your ass know how to cut out somebody's heart and replace it with a better or with a working heart, that mechanic can change your engine, your transmission, your tires, fix the electrical problems in your car so that you can get to work and save that man's life. And the mechanic do so good, even if he has to keep your car for a long period of time, now you have other means of transportation that the mechanic fixed in order to still get to work and do what you got to do. Stop shitting on the mechanic, people. That mechanic is more important than you motherfucking think he is. And now sitting here thinking today, I really don't blame mechanics fucking y'all over. When the mechanic come to your shop, now I don't agree with it, but I can understand. When you bring your car to the mechanic shop, ain't nothing wrong with your car, just need an oil change. When you leave out that motherfucker, now you got 2 leaks on your goddamn car because the mechanic done sabotaged another part of your car. That's because y'all treat them like shit, just like y'all did with the garbage man. And the garbage man is just as important as the mechanic, but y'all shit on him like a motherfucker. I ain't even bringing the garbage man into this shit. Because I can say the garbage man and the mechanic is damn near here. If not, the garbage man might be a little higher than the mechanic. Because the stuff that they pick up can get airborne and make you sick. But I'm not even going to go into that. This is about the mechanic. Stop shitting on the people that you deem. You deem because you got some money. Because you got 6 figures, 5 figures, 7 figures. And the mechanic make 3. 4. Stop thinking that you're better than this person or these people. Treat them equal. Treat them equal because they are equal. They are just as valuable, just as important as you are. You just do something totally different. You do something in a different house than this person does. That does not make you better or more important than that person underneath the mask. Stop shitting on the mechanics.